waiting to go to a breakfast restaurant, and so I look at the graffiti in the area, particularly at an alley that's nearby here. Here we have Gorky, Droogie, and a face. I thought of putting together like a grid poster of 100 different faces around town. They're often used to depict, I think, actual faces at spots that hang out. That's a little cartoony one, that there. But taggers, like, who are probably dealers, like in Albuquerque, Swazi, or Awake. Down in the Southeast Heights, you'll see faces next to those tags sometimes, and sometimes you'll see people that kind of look like those faces standing on corners. Particularly if you drive the state name streets in Albuquerque far south after dark. It's Amsterdam around there, basically, at those hours. It's a wire reference. I remember seeing that sign hanging up. Now it's by a dumpster. Something on that door, part of something old. Interesting machine. Here we have a real gang tag, West Side, tiny. BOGO, I think, is just the name of the dispensary on the other side of this, but it's a beautiful palimpsest. Some abstract expressionists would like this thing. You can see Rauschenberg wanting to break that whole wall off and make it part of an installation piece. My phone must have higher contrast levels than my eyes, because I can see on my phone what that painted over one says a little more clearly. Then I can see it in person. Across the road. I love the design of this modernist strip mall. I bet that dates back to the 50s or 60s, right? This area has been recently painted over. Honestly, as interested as I am in graffiti as a branch of human literature, it's probably the thing to do if you own a business and you don't want it to be crappy and run down. Graffiti is often a tendril extended into a world to see if it's safe to go there. Write your name on a stop sign, no one takes it down. Huh, maybe I can also sell drugs here. This is very interesting. Graffiti that not everyone is supposed to see. It's behind a utility box here. A rather sinister face. I would say that maybe some features of that face could be lettering also. Is that an S I see there? Creepy. S something P maybe? That is a gang. Yeah, I'm sure I look real suspicious. But I'm making a YouTube video. This is where you get to the other Albuquerque with the other mother. Okay, this area is gross, but I saw this earlier. You gotta check this out. Look, it's like a homeless comic strip. Woohoo! Someone's hula hooping. And the person says, "Hola." BOGO, no. Maybe BOGO is a tagger. No, something. Bus stopped. Missing. That is truly... I feel like a kid again trying to make sense of an Archie Comics cover with a pun on it I didn't understand. There's so much on here. I'm gonna look at this in photos later. My gross back here, and I don't want to hang out a bunch. I think this is a makeshift bathroom. Then this has stuff too. That tells you right up. Oh yeah, gang affiliated. Yep. Oh, that says something on the top there. What's this? I gotta get out of here. I'm getting noticed. Technically graffiti. There's people slapping stickers that probably work at this place. Garage near here. Do look up the short film, The Subconscious Art of Graffiti Removal. It's on YouTube. About how these buff squares are art in themselves, made by a deeper part of the minds of the city workers that cover them up. Retro GFK. That's just a tagging crew, I think. I wonder if Retro was named after the old bar Retros. Evil. Can't tell what that says, but... Act 4 turning point. Change or die. Change or die. I feel it. Fellow. One time a neighbor left a mattress out on my old street, and Fellow had tagged it by morning. 2013 TMC Fellow. The Mob Crew. No, TMC is an LA gang, but I think it's also an Albuquerque tagging crew. The Mob Crew, I think, comments on the idea of being mob deep, that you're weak on your own, but when you have a bunch of people that have your back, you're mob deep. I would like to walk across Albuquerque, if possible, using only alleyways in interstitial areas. I think that'd be so interesting. Yikes. That was a commentary on someone who'd previously tagged this. Yeah, some graffiti is really hard to interpret. It's all that alley for now. Last graffiti video I posted made me not want to post more graffiti videos because a bunch of morons found it in the comments. They were all like, graffiti is not gang graffiti, it's just people putting their names up, it's expression. You know, there's lots of different people doing it for lots of different reasons. Some of those commenters, I was like, methinks thou doth protest too much. You got Google alerts on your own names. We're not doing anything. Wait, the alley continues. Again, I am interested in this topic as an anthropologist. There might be people back here, in which case I'm interested in graffiti as an anthropologist first, as a scholar of human literature second, and as someone interested in the actual art of it third. Hello, lizard. We'll paint over the stuff back here, so maybe there's not that much. Fascinating. Where am I? Okay, I guess there's one in there. Whoa, is this an alley I've never walked? Pop. Oh, I can't tell what it says. Palimpsest. Harkening back to Egyptian papyrus, where they used the same sheet again and again. Alright, well, hope you're all having a good day. New cat coming today. Just a guest cat, technically, but she might be around for a while. Jokes. I first saw a jokes tag over by the Manzano Multi-Generational Center by Central and Montebo, I think. Places I've seen jokes tags makes me think definitely a homeless tagger. But it looks like Jokes has a friend at least, someone they're with. Let's see, Tazes? Funny is sometimes taggers are bad spellers. Like there's a tagger Badger, but he always spells it Bagder. Some taggers, you know, might have dyslexia. Jerk. Look, the cables from this building are aluminum. Don't steal our cables. Huh. Answer, I've seen that tag a bit. Interesting, a weird little fenced off area. This says this tagger's on a lot of drugs. Maybe. All three something son of chaos. All three simmer Nas, that could be Nasty Guns or probably Norteño Gang. Yeah, Son of Chaos. Click to. I realize I might be wrong about a million things, you know, but this is nice. It's the thing with graffiti. There's no like book you can go check your answers in. You speculate if you're not part of it. Still, it is literature of a sort. That says something. Oh, a famously crappy gang, TCK. Refreshing. Did someone write that? Or was that say? Something. No. That said something. Both are okay. Oh, that looks like code for sure. South Valley something. Oh, VL. Barrio Southside Locos, 13. Sereno. Chuzani crew. I'm pretty sure they were a tagging crew. They used to have a hip-hop night at Birds. I mean, not a tagging crew, a music crew, and then a tagging crew. Now I sometimes see it in association with gangier stuff. TCK, Thugs Causing Chaos. They used to be the most hated gang in Albuquerque, but I kind of think they're kind of more accepted now. See their colors at their school I work at and their signifiers. And I have a notion that they're maybe part of TBVK, which might be a conglomerate of gangs. TCK, Borellis, Barrio Southside Locals. The crown I've seen as part of Latin Kings stuff before, but it might be used generically also. That water's probably saved some homeless person's life. But I don't care, I'll drink it. I'm sure animals appreciate it. Aha, evidence. VOS. Often I know a lot more than I say on these videos. I'm like, how badly do I want to attempt getting moited? Charming. You are going to die. You know, that's true for everybody, right? Hard to decipher. Full again? No, IOG. When I filmed my movie Crime and Punishment in Albuquerque, adapted from Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment with my daughter as Raskolnikov, Anodyne. I want to film it all in interstitial areas as much as possible. In Albuquerque and the Northeast Heights, there's a certain meretricious charm, you know. Mob. Razor wire, what an invention. Yikes. I wrote something here a long time ago, something weird I made up just to lie to Van, because I never wanted to hide from you. Short story prompt, go. Mario, wait. Smoke, oh Smoke, he tags all around Monzano and in Monzano. I thought it was a student at Monzano, but I actually think it's one of these creepy guys that sits on the benches along Lomas. Probably works as a plug for students through apps like Telegram and Signal. R.I.P. What does that say? Something by... Skippo. Now that's the tagger that tags all over Monzano that everybody there wants to end. I heard one administrator say, if there's one thing I could take care of before I retire, it's finding who Skippo is. Yeah, I don't have a ton of respect for like non-high schoolers that go tag high schoolers. Give me a break. There's some like ego taggers like that. Subbing at El Dorado, I'm like, that guy came in here and just, why? I think a lot of graffiti imitates natural things and blends in with it, like the shadows of razor wire, the shadows of trees. Not that razor wire is natural, but just with shadows, lines and cracks and things. This is a squalid, wild world back here. Oh,